back to the channel. Today I have someone very special with me. Hold my hand. It's my fiance! And we're actually going to be doing a really fun video where we'll be doing some model clay figurines, and at the same time we'll be answering some of your hottest LDR questions. Are you ready? Because I am, and let's go. Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about what we have in front of us. We're going to do some modeling clay. What was the inspiration behind this activity?
At TikTok.
And then
that's it.
And then we are just copiers of the trend. Try and replicate, and we're going to see who did it better, right?
No.
It's a competition.
You can pick yourself, you can pick yours, I can pick mine.
What do you mean? We're doing the same one so you can see who did it better, what? No, meh? My fiance and I have been doing long distance for
1 year and 8 months.
No, we've been together 1 year, 8 months. But how long the long distance, the period?
Maybe 7 months.
7 months, right? Now we're at a point where we're probably going to do long distance again next year. Yeah, but now we're like at least, spending some time together before our long distance next year. So this will be the first one that I'll be doing. I hope the camera can pick it up. If not, I'm going to put a photo. You can show the camera what you're doing. Yes. Okay. Yay! Okay, let's start. And that brings us to our first question, Bebe. How often and in what ways should we communicate to stay connected without overwhelming each other?
I think it depends on the stage. In the beginning, when we were first doing LDR, we communicated almost every day.
Almost, actually, yeah. We called like quite a lot of times in the day.
But now, after almost 2 years, we have a call maybe two or three times a week.
When we're long distance, right?
Because we already know pretty much anything about each other. So like the basic questions already covered. So it's like mostly updates on what's been happening in our life.
I think we also text quite often. Like when you wake up.
TikToks and everything.
True. I think when you wake up, we will like greet each other, morning text, and then we'll like look at each other's TikToks and like what we sent the night before. What kind of boundaries and reassurances do we need to feel secure and respected in this relationship?
Okay, as far as secure goes, it's probably first showing effort every day. Chatting in the morning, chatting in the evening.
Showing up.
Yeah, showing up. Because then during LDR you have these dark thoughts like the other person, like not replying, like what are
they doing? Are they okay? What's up with them?
When you have some consistency, like in LDR, like in the morning and the evening, you just feel like safe and secure versus you guessing like what's happening in the other person's life, like are they still interested in you or not?
It's like you don't leave the other party guessing in that sense, right? Because you're providing that reassurance up front. I think we tell each other like who we're hanging out with, what we're doing, and we kind of put ease in our mind in that way.
Basically, if you're doing an LDR, there are many apps that help you get to know each other better. Every day you get a question on different categories, and then you reply, and this helps to get to know each other person better. So it can be about like what's your dream, or what are your worries, like many different kind of questions, and so
they can spark conversations actually.
Yeah, sometimes they're also about boundaries, like what are your boundaries, so you get to learn about them like directly from another person.
Okay, so my next question for you is, do we have a shared vision for when and how we might eventually be together in the same place? Basically, how are we going to close the distance?
In Germany, still have some things to take care of here. Both work-wise and personal matters. But then the goal is sometime around end of next year or beginning of 2026 for me to move to Singapore. Since I work in tech, it's pretty easy to find job anywhere. Since the domain is very interoperable, everyone speaks English, especially in Singapore. So like the plan is slowly end of the year start looking for a new job in tech. But yeah, the end goal is to close distance sometime end of next year.
Show the cat.
Oh yeah, I'm not done. It's only one leg.
Action to see my ladybug.
Oof.
Huh?
What's this?
What do you mean? What do you mean what's this? It's a ladybug. How does it not look like a ladybug?
Halloween special.
And I'm gonna try to do a dinosaur because I still have a lot of the blue left. So how do we balance our own lives while staying committed to each other from a distance? how do we like maybe not allow our relationship to take over our entire lives? Yeah, maybe that could be a better way to approach it.
I think both of us are very busy with our work.
Yeah, we're very immersed with it.
Like you have lots of events and campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm also very busy with my work, so usually LDR for me is the time where I can just go
do a lot of your
full
work, right?
throttle.
Yeah.
Just like 100% like morning to evening work. Because later when you come, I spend more time together and I have less time for being like 24/7 committed to my work. So basically it's kind of like...
So basically I'm a hindrance. I'm a distraction, is it? That's what I'm hearing right now, yeah? Haro?
No, what I'm saying is that I also work a lot when you're here, but when you are not here, I work even more.
We don't see the relationship as like the focal point of our life. I mean, yes, it's a big part of it, but it's not the main thing that we pour all of our energy into. Like, I feel like we are people who are very independent in our own ways, where we have our own interests lah, basically. It's not like we have the same interests also all the time. So I think that helps in terms of us balancing our own lives. No? Yes? I'm talking to you, you know, right? Hey, then you never respond to me. Hello? Huh? He's still stuck on the first one. He's still stuck on the kitten. I'm already on my second one.
I'm doing the best
dinosaur.
I'm not even sure what this tower is.
It is a ladybug, yeah? You freaking stealer, I swear to God, you are a thief.
I don't want your ugliest creatures.
You are a thief, actually. Okay. What's our approach to handling misunderstandings or conflicts, especially when we can't meet in person? I think this is going to be a very critical question because typically, I would say conflicts can happen, especially when we're apart. Because it's easy to misinterpret text, subliminal messages, you know?
I think it goes back again to the first question of communication. So
fiance only has one answer to everything, and that's communication.
Yeah, LDR is...
Please proceed.
Communication is the crucial part in LDR. If even one person is not a good communicator...
No, but trust is also another factor in terms of LDR.
To deserve trust, you need to communicate, no? So yeah, but I think when it comes to conflict, it also depends on personalities of two people. Like I am very calm. I'm not an emotional person, so I don't very get heated, and I can calm myself down before I say something usually. But the other person sometimes can get emotional, and so I need to calm myself down to not make the conflict even more intense. With conflict, I think it's very cliche. Yeah. So it's not about one person against each other. It's like two people solving a problem. So I think just like both parties need to remember or remind each other that it's not a conflict against each other, but a conflict against a problem that needs to be resolved
with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conflicts cannot be resolved. Like there are deal breakers in our case because I am like stuck now in Germany. Yeah. Like already like communicated like way in advance that I cannot do this and this. I cannot move to Singapore very early, so it wasn't like a surprise to you. Yeah. Setting some expectations in advance in LDR is a good thing. Cases where people are not as like mobile as me, because again my job allows me to move very freely to any country, but there are people who may be like lawyers or doctors and they cannot move as easily, and so in this case LDR won't just work unless the other person can give up something
and move
over.
So there is a level of sacrifice that comes with every relationship, and especially more so for long distance relationships, because someone is always kind of giving up something, you know, like for you personally, you're going to be working in Asia hours, but you're typically more used to European hours. So that means that he's working from like 4 p.m. onwards, right? It's like, okay, I have to fly 17 hours for my next job. And that's a reality that we have to make peace with if you want to be part of a long-distance relationship. What are some ways we can keep the romance alive despite the distance?
Doing lots of cute video calls. We would have this cooking competitions.
Oh yeah, we did.
We would also send each other gifts remotely. I would send flowers. I would send some other small gifts.
I would send you food.
Yeah, send me food. Then on the last Valentine's Day, we watched a movie together. What's this? Monster Inc. again.
It's damn cute.
This is cute.
Use a hand to go in. Yeah. Dog. bun. Literally hot dog bun. I want to show you guys what I've done currently. This is the second one. The dinosaur. So cute. And my ladybug. Well, he's still stuck in the first one. What's that? Even? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, right, we're down to our last few questions, but we will add some spicy questions towards the end. And I think let's finish up the first one. So, finish up the last question. And that is, how do we manage the cost of travel and other long distance expenses? I think travel is our biggest long distance expense. Flights. Like LDR is really, it's going to be expensive commitment that you have to think about before you embark on. Also,
we don't manage, we are just
bombing,
getting broke year by year, unless we move in together in Singapore.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a conscious choice to spend more money now on travel, because then later we will move in and travel less. Now we also take advantage of the fact that we
are both
live
remote
on
workers.
Different sides of the world. When I come to Asia, I travel more to places like Bangkok, Japan, China, etc. And when she's here, we've been to Italy, Turkey, and many other places. So it's just us acknowledging that we have some advantages because we live in different locations, and that's why we travel more. But later when we move in, we need to settle down and be more conscious of our finances.
Yeah, no, I think we really have to be more conscious of our finances. I think this is the one part of our relationship, especially in a long distance one where we fully haven't cracked down yet. I don't know whether you agree with me, but I feel like this part is still out of control a little bit. Just for context, right? Like, he's mostly based in Germany, I'm mostly based in Singapore, and you guys know how much already that is in terms of like the flight costs. One way could be $800 to $1,000, and yeah, like traveling to the neighboring countries as well, like Bangkok, Bali, all that, it still costs money. Even accommodation, because we don't have a space to 100% live in for now, like we don't have a flat coming up, so that's still all costs that will add up eventually. But I think the way we frame it is that, you know, this is our kind of like our only time to really travel and like be free, be young and hot, and and like to really see the world, right? I mean, that's how I view it. I don't know about you though.
You can always save up money later.
Money can come back, but I will never be 27.
27, correct.
And living my best life with my fiance. Yeah, I think that's how we've kind of been dealing with
later
it.
Come.
Is LDR for everyone?
I don't think LDR for everyone, because again, there are circumstances. If you don't have money to travel, first one, then if you are not sure that you can
commit to
move in together at some point, also probably not possible then.
I think also it matters in terms of the nature of the relationship. So if you're a fresh relationship, just like how we were, right? Because we started out as strangers and then we only decided towards the end of like our trip that we wanted to pursue being long distance. I think for us it was like a fresh canvas that it wasn't normal that we would get used to, compared to, let's say, if you were a couple that has been dating for 3 years and then one of you has to relocate for work, and that means you going long distance, right? From having that contact 100%, let's say in the same city, to having no contact at all after 3 years, I think that would be a very different start point as compared to the way we started. So how do you think that also impacts
I think we're
the success of a relationship?
We are more or less used to LDR.
Yeah, we're used to it.
For us, like default. Well, I mean not default. Like,
it was default though for like the first year.
Now, like this year, we've been mostly in person, so like we didn't do much of LDR. Yeah. But when we go back to LDR, like next year, we still like already know what to expect, so it's not a surprise, not something we need to get used to very drastically.
I would have to say that for us starting out as LDR, it was really exciting. It was like in the stage where I was getting to know you, you know, the get to know you stage, and it was the exciting part where it's like, oh, this person is totally new to me, and like what kind of person is he going to be? Like, will he surprise me? Will he shock me? Will he disappoint me? You know, there's like so many questions there that I think another relationship that has been physically together for like years won't be able to experience.
Yeah, I think LDR can sometimes be even more exciting than a normal relationship because after a distance and after a separate time, every time you meet is like meeting each other for the first time.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel. Remember, I always tell you that I'm like very nervous, especially when I get off the flight and then I know I'm gonna see you.
Like some people say that the distance make the heart
Grow fonder.
So we don't take each other like for granted. I mean, you shouldn't take each other for granted even if you live like in person.
Yeah.
IRL, but when you are living separately for a long time, you kind of like have the time alone to contemplate how much you value the other person.
Like, okay, what did LDR teach you about yourself?
Sometimes I think I can also be anxious person. I think usually I think of myself as very secure, but I think still like sometimes like dark thought.
Really?
I mean, not now, like I'm saying, like in the beginning I was like very like confident, like it's very easy LDR, like whatever.
You did. I remember that.
But sometimes like you and I feel a bit anxious. I think like especially like in the beginning you had like sometimes very long events, like less communication, and just like makes you more anxious.
No, that's true, because I think that's something that you also weren't really used to. It's like a new world kind of thing.
I think I'm like very like a pattern kind of person, so when something like is out of structure, I feel a bit uncomfortable. But probably like the biggest lesson, if you put in effort into something, everything will work out, be it a relationship or work. But it's like more about creating a habit. But it's not only about LDR. So even in the normal relationship, if you at some point lose the habit of showing effort, relationship becomes like stale,
you stop showing
uninterested and boring. It's just like coexisting, but not like a proper relationship. But
where you're both thriving.
For LDR, you need to put even more effort to show the person that, hey, I'm still here, I'm still interested, like I won't give up on you or like move on. So I think it just shows that effort is very important, and consistency, habit in everything you do, but especially in LDR. Thanks
for the TED Talk.
Yes. If everyone needs an advice, we'll start a podcast.
And we'll start charging as well. Pay-per-view. It taught me firstly that actually LDR has a very bad rep. I don't know whether you've on your side of the world, like you hear much about that, but like in Singapore, I find that LDR has such a bad rep in the sense of, oh, it's doomed to fail. That is completely false. It's really just a projection of the past people who have failed doing it, but it is not a representation of the reality of it. Because coming from someone that has lived now in like a long distance relationship for 1 year, almost 2 years, right? I think I reaped more benefits out of it than I did in like other past relationships, because I find that firstly, right, when you are in a relationship that is constantly in contact, like let's say every single day, and when you're like spending every single day with each other and like you're doing the same thing, you fall into a routine. Sometimes I feel there is a lack of growth. You know, like how maybe you're not as motivated to want to be a better version for the other person anymore. And whereas in like LDR, it's like it keeps things alive, where you have to put in the effort to want to understand this person better, to want to know them on a deeper level, and to get to know them, aka also get to know more about yourself. So I think LDR really challenged me in that way, to see relationships in a very different light. So my question is, do we have any advice for people who are starting out on LDR for the first time, or any tips that we can give them that they can take away from this video?
LDR is the first relationship I wouldn't recommend.
Ooh, that's the first? But I'm your first girlfriend, no?
This relationship, you still develop some communication skills. They get a bit of wisdom. You know your boundaries, you know like what you want from the partner and everything. But with LDR, again, communication is a big part. You need to like just be aware of the other person's like habits, and like different shenanigans.
So what do you mean by shenanigans?
I don't like. I mean,
please expand.
I mean, some people again like could be very anxious, and if you haven't dealt with anxious people before, then it'll be even more harder to do it in LDR. So LDR again is like just a relationship, but make it like 10 times harder. So think twice before doing LDR.
Think twice. That's his advice, y'all. If I could cut out the entire part, right, I'm just gonna do think twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs. An octopus has 8 legs, and that's the next animal that I'm going to be doing. So you guys, I want to show you my collection first, and I'll show you what the hell he's been working on, because I've done 3 figurines right now at this point in time. First up was the ladybug at the side here, and then followed by the dinosaur, which only has eyes on one side because we don't have enough clay. So this is the second one, and then I have a dog in a hot dog bun. What do you have? Show us.
I'm still working on kidney.
Show. Put here. Huh? That's it.
What do you mean that's it?
Huh? How long more you want to do this, huh? Yeah. Hey, don't fight with my dinosaur! My advice for if you're wanting to start an LDR yourself is to get the uglies out of the way and to communicate at the very start. I think the earlier you get through the tough conversations, the easier and more smooth sailing it will be in the future. So I think that's something that you can definitely work on. Also, be mindful that there are going to be many factors that will affect your LDR experience, be external, internal, like your attachment issues, external being your environment and how busy you would be. Experience, after all, that you really cannot exactly predict how it's going to turn out, but it's worth a shot. Love is going to be an experience that everyone should go through, and if LDR is the situation that you end up being in, then I'd say go for it. Give it your best and see how you can work it out. I think communication, as we keep mentioning, right, is the common theme of how we've managed to, get through all those different months or periods of long distance. And I think the communication part is probably going to be the most important one out of all that we've said today. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have to say about long distance, baby. Do you have any other final thoughts? And also, you're still on this first one, baby.
We'll jump back forward and show my thing later.
Yeah, okay, we'll do an edit later to see like what he has done after, he is done with this cat. Firstly, but yay, thanks for watching, you guys, and let us know if you have any other questions.
If you want to see more of me, press like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, that's right, baby. He said like, share, and subscribe, and put in the comments if you have more questions about LDR or anything at all, and we'll probably do another episode just like this because it's really fun.
Send your personal questions.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil.
Well,
LDR
this
edition.
Dr. Fiance, actually. Oh my god, Dr. Fiance can be a new series, babes. Okay, but yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, you guys, and see you. Bye. Say bye, baby.
Bye.
Bye.